Before we begin, please know that some episodes include language that may be sensitive for some people. Welcome to another episode of The Birth Portal. My name is Connie. Today's true story still brings tears to my eyes. This first-time mom I'll call Mary Jo paged me just after midnight to report contractions are every 3 minutes lasting 60 seconds. As soon as she answers my call, she's suddenly gripped by a contraction so strong she can barely speak. But says, "Oh no, my water just broke." I ask her, "What color is the water?" And she replies, "Bloody," sounding a bit grunty. I ask her if she has the urge to push, and she isn't 100% positive and says, "I think so." But the pain is in her back, and this is her first birth, and she lives close to the hospital, so my intuition feels we've got time to meet there. Once at the hospital, I check her cervix, and she's doing a fantastic job, already more than halfway there. She's 6 centimeters dilated, with lots of bloody show. Bloody show is a common term used in labor. The cervix is very vascular during pregnancy, which is why some women even bleed after intercourse throughout the pregnancy. During the dilation process, the cervix goes through incredible changes that often cause it to bleed. Midwives can get excited when we see this bloody show, as it often means labor is progressing well. If, however, the blood is coming like a period, then we can get concerned, as that may mean that part of the placenta has detached from the uterine wall, and that can impact the oxygen going to the baby. This is called placental abruption. Some partial abruptions are small, and labor can continue with constant monitoring of the baby's heart. If the abruption is significant or affecting the baby's heart rate, then a cesarean section would be done. In my 20-plus years experience, it has only happened a handful of times, and the majority of these were when the placenta was partially or completely covering the cervix. This is called placenta previa, and is most often identified on ultrasound in the earlier part of pregnancy around 20 weeks. This was not the case for Mary Jo. She was just progressing well. She does have a significant issue, though. Her husband is in another province, and his planned flight home isn't for several hours. He's not going to make it, I think, immediately. Within a half an hour of arriving to the hospital, Mary Jo begins to spontaneously push while talking to her husband on the speakerphone as he's driving his rental car back to the airport. He whispers, "I love you. I'm so proud of you. Push, honey, push." After about 20 minutes of pushing, I check her cervix, and there's a rim left, and it has started to swell. When we feel swelling of a cervix, it often tells us that the baby's head is not well applied to the cervix. I talked to Mary Jo about the homeopathic remedy arnica, which is used for times of swelling. It is completely safe to take unless someone was on blood thinners, and she agrees to give it a try. Mary Jo is encouraged to kneel on the bed with the head raised for her to lean on, and I recommend that she pant at the height of the contraction rather than push. By about 3 a.m., the urge to push is still strong, but the swelling is gone, but there's still a little bit of cervix. I talked to Mary Jo about the option of trying to push the cervix over the baby's head while she pushes during a contraction. It can be quite painful, and it may not work, but we can give it a try, to which she agrees to try. Mary Jo yells out in pain each time I apply pressure to the cervix over the next 3 contractions. But finally, it's over the baby's head, and I can no longer feel the cervix. She is unmedicated, which means she doesn't have an epidural. And so Mary Jo stood at the edge of the bed, leaning forward, with her husband on the cell phone right beside her. Her mother-in-law and friend are also at her side. My backup midwife and I are aching inside because of the distance between this couple. Mary Jo pushed like a trooper. Dad was calm as can be on the other end, And we found out later his GPS had him driving in circles instead of getting him to the airport. It's now after 4 a.m., and Mary Jo is still pushing. The baby's head is still not in the ideal position, but is slowly coming down. Dad was finally on the plane, stating his cell phone would soon cut out. And he says, "Push, push, come on, Mary Jo, push. I love you so much, honey. I'm so proud of you." And you know his heart is breaking. And then he's gone. Mary Jo continues to push in every position possible. And we reach a point where it's time to talk to the obstetrician on call. By 7 a.m., she ran out of steam and needed help to deliver the baby. The baby's head was low enough in the vaginal canal that a vacuum was a feasible option to try. Mary Jo delivered the baby with the help of the doctor. The umbilical cord was loosely tangled around the body, but the baby is pink and crying loudly. Such a welcoming sound. Dad's plane touches down just when the baby's born, and so they're talking within moments of the birth, but the secret of the baby's sex is kept until he arrives to the hospital. Grandpa is at the airport to escort Daddy, and it's going to take about an hour, which allows the special bond to occur between mom and baby with that first-time breastfeeding. We get Mary Jo up for a shower when Dad arrives, and so we send him into the bathroom to help Mom dry off. And Grandma places the baby onto the warmer all bundled up, and we leave the room for Mary Jo to introduce Daddy to their newborn. Oh, to be a fly on the wall. Being a midwife is the best job in the world. Thanks for joining me for another episode of The Birth Portal.